And I pieced it together. You understand why the Jedi are written like this, right?
No.
You don't?
I don't.
Why
Do
would
you?
Yes, I do. I know exactly why.
Okay. Well, then you have to explain it because I don't get it at all. I don't, yeah.
You ever hear those banking commercials and they have to tell you an equal opportunity housing lender?
Yeah.
In this day and age, do they still need to do that?
For some reason, yes.
Would it make any sense if this bank commercial was, Fifth New Bank of New York, terms and conditions apply subject to availability, no gays, blacks, or Jews?
Yeah.
Welcome to the Two Gaming Dudes.
Yeah.
Finally, the Acolyte, Season 8, the torture is over.
I'm so glad.
Click
it's
subscribe,
over.
like, share, all that. Oh my god, I'm so glad this is done. What an awful, awful piece of shit.
Understand that up to this point, all of the episodes that I've seen, I've been like, well, that sucked. That was awful. But I didn't walk away feeling angry. I just was like, well, that's over.
Disappointed.
I was just disappointed. Yeah. It was like boring, lame. This last episode, I walked away angry. I was like, this? Really? These are your big revelations? This is how you're going to end this garbage?
I don't know what's up there now. I waited till Tuesday, 9:01. I was going to watch it live just because I needed it over.
Sure.
I needed to get it done with.
Right.
You know how on the Disney Plus app, there's the episode number and then a short description?
Yeah.
The description was, watch this episode now.
It was.
Like, they're just so desperate. They're like, I couldn't tell if they just didn't give a shit. And the guy working at Disney, watch this episode now.
Watch this episode.
Or if they were desperate and they were trying, please watch this episode now. I don't know which it was, but I noticed that.
I feel like they were like, hey, you got to put in the description and the title of this episode.
Yeah.
But nobody's watched it. Nobody knows.
It does feel like the only people watching it is assholes like us on YouTube
who
want to make fun of it. No actual fans watch the shit anymore.
No.
All right.
No. I can't imagine anybody with two brain cells to rub together watches this, or at least watched this and walked away going, that was like the greatest Star Wars I've ever seen. It was fantastic. It's so awful. It is the most poorly written garbage I've ever seen.
So we pick up right where the action ends before. May is wearing the magic helmet made of the magic metal that blocks senses and the Force and allows you to become one with the Force that it's blocking out.
Yes, but it blocks it, but it like blocks it on the inside.
Okay,
so it
whatever.
can't go. I don't know.
And she takes off. She's like, I know where they are. And C.W. Sith is like, really, where? It's like, I'm not going to tell you. You'll never find them without me. All right, let's go together.
Okay.
Where are they? On the same piece of shit planet in the same stupid castle that this whole fucking series is taking place on. Oh, that's where they... Okay, great.
Aren't there like hundreds of planets across the galaxy? Yeah, but it's that one. The same one.
So May in Squid Game, he's got her strapped to the chair. He's going to torture her or something. Or sexually assault her, because that's... You're evil. No, you are. You killed. This is all your fault. No, fuck you. You suck. They go back and forth. And he's like, you're not even twins. You're not sisters. You're not twins. You're... And then it stops because she's got a lockpick that doubles as a stun gun, and she picks the lock and frees herself and zaps him. Doesn't wait, like, wait a minute. We're not twins. This sounds like important information I'd like to hear.
Yeah.
Let him finish his sentence. Ah, fuck it. I just happen to have a droid on me when he locked me up and he left it on me. And then
that doubles as a stun gun. I know that because I've owned so many of these in the past.
So she takes off. She makes her way to an escape ship, not an escape pod. It has to be a ship because she has to fly away because we need a chase. And then I don't understand what happens. They're chasing through the planetary rings.
Which I thought was also great because she's like, I have to escape. I'm going to get away. Where are you going? To the exact same place we were headed in the first place.
Right. And then the little hedgehog decides, pakoi, and he sabotages the ship just as he's about to catch her.
Which you're like, what does that even mean? What just happened here?
Okay.
And why didn't Jedi, because if I were Jedi Squid Games, I would have turned around and just lightsabered the hell out of that stupid badger thing.
I had to go back and rewind several times thinking, I missed something. Did his eyes turn black? Like the witches are controlling him? Did she... Because there was a scene in which she's flying the ship and she looks back like this. Oh no, he's gaining on me. And I paused that to see, did she do some kind of
voodoo or something?
But like minutes passed between that. There was nothing. He just, fuck it.
Just
sabotaged the ship.
Just Alf decided to be like, this'll get him.
I don't know. So what this tells me is she obviously I refuse to believe that they are that stupid. There is obviously something more that she was planning for season 2. He's actually a secret bounty hunter, and he needs to bring her back alive. So he doesn't want
little, like it's a little Sith Lord.
I don't know. I'm just
little Sith.
I don't know. I'm trying to grasp at straws at what it could possibly be. What, or he's secretly on the payroll of the green bitch guy, the green bald bitch, and so
whatever. Just
something. Obviously, there's something more that we don't know, and it would be revealed in season 2. It's never going to be.
If only there were a season 2.
And I don't give a shit. That's the worst.
No.
I don't fucking care. Don't explain it. I don't give a shit. I'm done with it.
It was like one of so many things that just didn't get explained. We're not even going to bother to tell you why we just did what we did. But that one blew my mind. That was one of the moments where I was like, so not only do the characters not know what they're doing, but the writers have no idea what they're doing either. And they don't know.
They don't know what to do with it. Yeah.
It's like somebody in FX came at them with a scene. Like, so in this scene, this ship is going, and then this ship goes, whoa.
Yeah.
Why does it do that? I don't know. You write it.
It still has the stink of J.J. Abrams all over it. Lightspeed skipping. Boss, we already said we can't do that. Who gives a shit? It'll look cool on camera.
Huh.
All right, so he sabotages it, and they end up both eating shit. And once again, she crashes her ship at orbital speeds, but she's okay.
Like a goddamn meteor.
We've seen this before. Don't worry, she's okay.
She's fine.
So back on Coruscant, there's some senator, and he's questioning the bald green girl, Mrs. Leslie Headland. It's like, you guys are doing some shit. Several Jedi are dead, and we've kept it a secret. That's like several Navy SEALs were killed in this operation.
Yeah.
Don't tell the Department of the Navy. Okay, no one will find out. So she's getting reprimanded. And I pieced it together. You understand why the Jedi are written like this, right?
No.
You don't?
I don't.
Why
do
would
you?
Yes, I do. I know exactly why.
Okay. Well, then you have to explain it because I don't get it at all. I don't, yeah.
Who are the Jedi? Who have they always been? Army Rangers, Army Delta Force.
Right. They are the elite of the elite. They're like a mix of that and Shaolin monks.
They are toxic masculinity. They represent the white male patriarchy. So, of course, Leslie Headland needs to destroy that. Of course the Jedi are bad.
And replace it with the Sith
who
are now good?
She can only see this far in front of her fucking face. She can't see this far. They're bad. White male patriarch has to be disassembled. That's precisely what it is. I fucking guarantee you. That was what was going through her mind.
I mean, I don't doubt it.
We're going to bring down the power establishment. All right, so then we see this creepy alien is creeping in the shadows.
Which I immediately pointed my finger and went, oh, it's freaking Voldemort. They got Lord Voldemort in this thing. They're going to do a Harry Potter crossover event.
It may as well be Voldemort. I mean, the only way you know it's Darth Plagueis is because later in an interview she tells you. And if you've read a comic, he's drawn the same way in the comics.
Okay, so because I've never read the comics, I watched that and I didn't see the interview. So I literally watched that and said, what the hell is that thing?
Right, imagine a casual fan.
And then it was gone and I was like, are we going back? What is that? We're not going to bother explaining. We don't know what that was. It was a thing.
So he, back on the ship, Saul turns on his transponder again so Green Chick can find him. Oh, that's where they've been hiding. The same planet and same castle where all of this show has been taking place. Send a crack team over there. Okay, great. So everybody ends up at the castle and everybody's kung fu fighting.
Sure.
And then, oh look, the twins have completed the parent trap. Because now the good one is wearing black and she's evil. And the evil one is wearing white and she's now good. They're wearing white and black because Leslie Headland knows symbolism!
Oh.
So they decide, a ship arrives. And a ship! And she looks up. And then she looks back. And she's gone! Suddenly she's the greatest Jedi Master in the world. Because she kicks Saul's ass. And how does she do it? Force choke. Just like Darth Vader!
Oh. So now we go back to another scene that I absolutely despise.
Well, his lightsaber is broken, and she bleeds the kyber crystal red. Again, most fans aren't going to know. They mentioned it in the comics that it takes weeks and weeks to torture a kyber crystal until it bleeds red. Whatever, in this game.
Whatever.
Okay.
I mean, I get it. The kyber crystal bleeding red was supposed to be like, she has turned evil to the dark side. But I don't understand, what was it that actually made her turn to the dark side? What was it that actually took this person who up until now was a very good person and made her decide, no, you know what? I'm going to murder children.
In a matter of like 3 days of story.
Yeah, 3 days of story. And I'm like, I'm going to light fields on fire, murder children and women. I don't even give a shit no more. This guy that raised me from a child, die. I don't care.
Well, so the Jedi arrive, and the green girl gets out. He's like, my old student is here. And now it makes sense, because he's got scars on his back.
In the shape of a whip mark.
And her lightsaber is a whip. Oh, because Leslie Headland understands foreshadowing. So CW, Sith, and Osha and May are all there. And then Osha decides, okay, here's what we'll do. I'll turn evil, and you turn good now, and this guy will train me to be an evil fucking Sith Lord. Oh, wow, great setup for a spin-off. What are you going to do? Hey, I'll just wipe her memory.
Okay. You don't all want to leave together?
We could all just go.
We could just leave.
I can drop you off somewhere, and you can go live your life fuck it.
That's stupid.
I'll wipe your memory and send you out to be arrested by the Jedi. Okay, cool. And then they hug, and she's like, don't worry, I'll find you. To which she should have said, I won't give a shit. My memory's going to be wiped. Don't come find me. I don't give a fuck who you are. Who cares? Then why are you taking my fucking memory? I don't know.
I don't know either. I mean, I'm still going to be blamed for the murders, regardless if I remember. Like, if I'm like, well, I was blackout drunk when I murdered that family, I'm still going to prison.
Except she's not, because they take her back to the green bitch with her memory wiped, and the green girl tells her, oh, it was actually Saul that went rogue. This is all his fault. He did all this bad shit.
And since he's dead, he can't defend himself, so I'm just going to go with it.
And then Osha and CW Sith stare at the sunset, and then the green guy goes, Master Yoda! And he goes, Arr! And you see the back of his head. Roll credits.
Oh my god, and then it was over.
It is the worst, certainly the worst Star Wars I've ever seen.
Yeah.
It's some of the worst television I've ever seen. If this was fan fiction, I wouldn't have looked past. I'd have thought, wow, these guys got a lot of investors to come together on their fan fiction product. It's too bad they didn't have some good writers.
Yeah, but you know what? As a team of like 12 to 16-year-olds putting this together, they did an okay job.
Good work, you guys. If after you learn and practice it, you're going to be really great filmmakers.
Someday.
This came from Disney, and I am absolutely dismayed how many layers of production and oversight this went through, and it got checkmarked every time. Yeah. Let's proceed with this. Proceed with it.
Supposedly, there are production managers who were fired very early on. These are the ones that I'm guessing were the ones that went up to Leslie like, this is going to look awful. We probably shouldn't do that. This is probably a bad idea. How dare you tell me no?
I don't know anything about Leslie Headland, okay? I never watched Russian Doll, her only other project.
Okay.
All I know is she was Harvey Weinstein's personal assistant, which means, at a minimum, she knew. You know where I'm going with it. At a minimum,
yes.
She knew what that fucking monster was doing.
Right.
At worst, she was complicit in it, because she was the one making the appointments for those young Hollywood actresses. Yeah, Harvey saw your tape. He thinks you'd be really, really good for this role. Why don't you bring your script and meet him up at his hotel room at 11 o'clock tonight? Okay, great. Yeah, sir, your appointment with Ashley Judd is made. She fucking knew. Whole nother conversation. Okay, I get it. She's a shitty filmmaker. Yeah. She shouldn't be doing this anymore.
No, she's a terrible storyteller. She's a bad filmmaker.
Stop it. Get some help.
And possibly complicit in many, many sexual assaults.
Yes, and there's that too. Which, by the way, when, Darth Dickless here, the shirtless dude with the big arms, is like, and now you're gonna be my assistant. Well, you're so strong and powerful. Yes. How could I say no?
Well, because he's a minority, so it's okay.
Oh, okay. Then it's fine.
We saw 2 regular white guy Jedi here, right?
I don't know.
The one that that was levitating.
Right. And then the fat dude.
The soy boy.
Oh, so 3, because there was also a fat dude, unless he was Latino.
Oh, there was? I don't
know. There was one that we were all making fun of.
The handful of white male Jedis that you saw were just tremendous fucking losers. The only dudes that you saw that were of any consequence were the Jedi, the studly, muscular Jedi that gets killed.
Right.
Saul, kind of, sort of. And the evil Sith, who was jacked, but he's Filipino, so it's okay. He can be evil and powerful. It's just so dumb and obvious. Everything about it is just sucky and stupid, and I don't want to be part of this anymore.
No, this experience really, I want to cancel my Disney subscription. I don't care what their next project is.
Skeleton Crew.
Yeah. And I don't care. I'm just done with it. And what's worse is, well, I don't know if it's worse, but this whole experience not only turned me off to Star Wars, but it turned me off to the new Marvel shows coming out, and just basically everything that's being kicked out by Disney.
Yeah.
I now look at with extreme speculation.
Well, yeah, I mean,
So-
I think at this point the pushing of the message, I think that message has gotten through to the board of directors. They understand this is a money loser. Stop fucking doing this.
I would hope so.
And now I just don't think they have the talent pool developed. Because they got rid of anybody that was 40, 50 years old that had been doing this since their 20s. And by the time they're in their 40s, they're a good writer.
Right.
Those guys are gone. They got a bunch of diverse people who just graduated from USC Film School, gave them a shit ton of money, said, make this for modern audiences. Well, you don't just graduate on Monday and become a good filmmaker on Tuesday.
No.
It takes years of stewardship and learning from someone to become good at this. Like anything else.
Like,
It takes effort and practice. And if you've got the talent and those all come together, you become David fucking Fincher.
you become a Steven Spielberg. You become a... God, there's so many people I would love to give this project over to and be like, would you please make a Disney or a Star Wars anything, really, a show, a movie, something,
So
that I can be proud of it again, so that I can enjoy it again.
This completely tanked. And I get it. I was listening to sports radio on the way over here, which Charles has never, ever done.
No.
But they were talking about the MLB All-Star Game, which we're going to get into in a little bit here.
Okay.
Nobody watched it. Because it's stupid. There was no point to it.
Okay.
Even in the olden days, there was a little like you'd get home field advantage if you were AL or NL, and then it was like, all right, I guess there's kind of some important... Nobody gives a shit. Nobody watched it because
All
it's
right.
dumb.
Sure.
There is so much shit in the world now. We've got the internet, and everything is easy for create. There's so much content out there and stuff. Nobody has time anymore for shit that doesn't matter. I don't have time for shit that doesn't matter. I watch
No.
The Boys because I love it, and I watch Game of Thrones and House of Dragons because it
Yes.
speaks to me, because it's well done, and I'm willing to invest an hour in that show. This, I don't have time to waste on shit that doesn't mean anything. And so I'm out. Maybe forever.
Back in the day, we only had, 6 or 7 different channels.
Right.
There was only so much you could watch. So you would watch a lot of stuff. I would watch everything that came out on ABC, like all that.
Yeah.
I watched the Ewok Adventure or whatever that garbage was.
Which is available to stream, by the way.
Oh, it's awesome.
Yeah.
There was nothing else. Now there's so much content, but my time hasn't changed. There's
Right.
still only 24 hours in a day.
I still have a life and
still
family.
have a life, and yeah.
If you're
So
going to take...
I have to pick and choose now. I have to be careful about what I choose that I'm going to entertain myself with for the next hour, 2 hours, whatever it's going to be. This is not it.
Of less value to me is the $13 a month. It's 45 minutes a week that I could use doing something else.
Yeah.
Playing Frisbee with the kids. Swimming laps. Working on my fucking fitness. Whatever. Watching something that's good. My time is too valuable. And you have wasted 8 hours of it.
I want to, and maybe we'll wait a little while before we do this, but I want to have one more episode about the Acolyte.
Really?
Yeah, but rather than talking about all the ways it sucked, because there were so many, somebody challenged us and was like, well, you think you could have done better? Yes, I really do. Not only do we know more about Star Wars than that whole team did, and I say this because
Right.
she came right out and was like, I hired people who didn't know anything about Star Wars.
Right.
Well, that worked out great for you.
Well, we discussed that.
Yeah.
That would have been okay. If you have a writing room, there's 10 people in the writer's room. I don't know how many there were. Let's say there were 10 people in the writer's room.
Right.
Leslie and 10 writers. 8 of them are brand new,
Sure.
don't know any, but 2 of them are hardcore fans who have been working for Lucas for a long time. or are other writers of other stuff and they got hired in, but they know Star Wars. You would need those two people to be able, they would be able to correct it.
Yes.
When she made some stupid mistake, they would be able to put their hand up. Boss, sorry. All the way back to Phantom Menace. You can't do this. Because Anakin was the chosen one. He was prophesized. You can't fuck up that prophecy by making it... Whatever. You name it. Name the plot hole. Or the fucking break in canon. You needed somebody there with that expertise to correct them.
You need somebody with expertise, and you need somebody with real experience in writing, especially with writing a television series.
But that's the inexcusable part. There are mistakes here that have nothing to do with Star Wars.
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. You need somebody who is just experienced telling stories. Right. Just a good writer. If you want to have a bunch of other amateur writers that have to learn how to keep up, fine. But you need somebody there who really knows their shit. All right. Check that. This is not one of your favorite shows. I know. But it's super popular, and I know all of you guys love it. Now I'm going to forget what it's called now. Arcane.
You are fucked in the head.
All right. You had a bunch of writers who knew how to make these short little clippets and things that would show up on YouTube. They were going to, little video game clips and stuff.
Yeah.
You know how to do that. But now you're being asked to make a TV series. And it's got to stretch out for, 9 episodes. So they went and got the guy that did Toy Story 2, and he actually was the story supervisor for the whole run. He may have only personally written like 1 or 2 episodes.
But he controlled the arc of the story.
He controlled the arc of the story because you needed somebody with experience who knew how to do that. Okay. There is nobody here who knew anything about this. Go out and get like fucking Dick Wolf. Bring him in. He knows how to make a good TV series. They go on forever.
Just get anyone who's a staff writer for CSI for any number of years because he knows how to maintain a linear story that makes sense and that develops naturally. Just anyone with some experience.
That's it.
It doesn't have to be a Star Wars expert to fix, I'm coming with you. Osha's going to go with Saul. The only reason I'm coming with you is to kill this Sith. Well, 5 seconds ago you said, this isn't my problem anymore. This is the Jedi's problem. I'm going back to my life.
Right.
You don't need to be a Star Wars expert to fix that.
Yeah.
A 5th grader could have fucking fixed that for you. That's inexperience as a writer. It has nothing to do with Star Wars.
That's it.
The Star Wars problems were their own animal. And there was an abundance of both. And we see them all here laid out embarrassingly.
Yeah. So, yeah. Lots of problems. Glad it's over. I'm sure you're all glad it's over too. Well, I don't know. Maybe a little bit sad because now all your favorite YouTubers will have to find something else to pick on. But
you know the real tragedy of all this? You are locked in now. Think back to the famous opera scene. Have I ever told you the story of Darth Plagueis the Wise?
Right.
They laid down, whoa, that is a really cool prequel idea. I wonder if they'll ever develop that into something. I really hope they do. You can't now.
Here you go.
You can't now. And if you do, you're tied into this shit now. So your hands are tied. You can't come up with a compelling Darth Plagueis story. It's got to revolve around this bullshit now.
You are not wrong. And you really did write yourself into a corner. You've taken away some really great characters. I mean, I guess you can't touch them now, so...
I guess you could go back 200 years?
I guess.
Because when Darth Plagueis is young and realizing, I wonder if there's a way to manipulate midichlorians to create life. And you did it before the events of the Acolyte. I guess you could do that. I guess,
but then it'll eventually lead up to this.
This bullshit! So you've still fucked it, right? Right. Good work, Star Wars.
Yeah.
You guys are great, Lucas.
Thanks, Leslie.
Fucking imbeciles.
I can't even, every time I see your name spelled, I can't even say it right without going, Leslie.
I'm glad this is done. I don't know what's next, but I'm glad this is done.
Whatever is next, I don't even know if I'm going to be along for the ride. But do tell me what you think in the comments below. I'm assuming if you haven't seen it, you've at least seen enough YouTubers talking about it to leave an opinion or two. So let us know what you thought. Like, share, subscribe, all that. I guess we'll see you in the next train wreck.
Bye.
Bye.